One of the key features of GForge is that it has a seamless interface to allow you to manage all the users and permissions for all the different aspects of the system. So we can start by setting up the observer permissions, and the observer is anyone who is not a member of the project. You can start by making the project private or public. If it's private, only actual members will be able to see it. And then there are individual settings for each forum, each file release package, and each tracker. So forums can be made public or private, so only people with the appropriate roles access the forum. The same for packages and trackers. Then you can also set up source code, whether it's public for non-members to be able to read it. If the project is set to private, everything else will be private too. So now we can save the observer permissions. Now let's take a look at defining actual roles for this project. Several default roles are created in the template project by default. And of course you can adjust the template project any way you want. There's project-wide administration. So if this role is set to project admin, the user with that role will be able to do anything they want in the project. There's doc permissions, forum-wide permissions, which would apply to forums. And then there's per forum permissions, whether they can just read, post, or administrate the forum. File release permissions, so you can read, write the file release system. And roles for all trackers and then individual trackers. So if a tracker is private, then you can set the role to not be able to access a tracker at all, or set it so the person can only read and add new items to the tracker, and select them so they can appear in the assignee list for tracker items, be in the assignee plus an admin for the tracker, or just an admin, in which case they will not appear in the list of people to assign tracker items to. The wiki, again, you can read, write, edit, and the source code tree. In this case, we want the senior developer to be able to write source code. So we can also create new roles besides those which were created from the template project. So let's go back to the admin page, and now we can manage users who are a member of this project. And each user can be assigned one or many roles. If they have multiples, they'll automatically have the maximum permissions for each role. And we'll just add another user here and just give him a single role, which in this case has minimal permissions. We can also define groups. And groups, of course, are just groups of users. We start by creating the group. We're just going to create a test group. And then we can edit that group to add members to it. We're going to add Ruben and another user to the group. And the interesting thing is when you add a group to a project, all the members of the group will have the roles and the permissions that you grant to the group. So now let's use the quick jump and we'll go back to our project, go into the admin area, manage members, we're going to remove that Ruben user and add him via the groups. So we'll just add the test group, and we'll just give them all the roles. There, now test group is a member. Anyone who is a member of that group, as you can see, they now show as a member project, and they'll have permissions to access it. So if the project is private, all those users who are a member of the group will have access.